virtual Wilkes-Barre Connect Spotlight series, Community Strong event. And today we have the great fortune of hearing from the mayors of both the City of Scranton and the City of Wilkes-Barre. In addition, you will hear about 3 amazing initiatives and programs ongoing in Northeastern Pennsylvania as our community continues to come together to respond, recover, and reimagine our new post-COVID norm. And now this is our 4th year of the Wilkes-Barre Connect Spotlight series, and it would not be possible without the continued support of Penn State Wilkes-Barre through the Invent Penn State initiative. And at this time, I'd like to welcome our good friend and partner, Dr. Dale Jones, Chancellor of Penn State Wilkes-Barre, to offer some welcoming remarks. Dr. Jones?
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Spotlight Series speaker program. I'm pleased to be here with you today. I'm Dale Jones, the Chancellor and Chief Academic Officer at Penn State Wilkes-Barre. We are honored to sponsor the Spotlight Speakers Program with the Wilkes-Barre Chamber of Commerce and with the Wilkes-Barre Connect program. We've been doing this for several years, as Joe Boylan mentioned, and we're proud to do so. Wilkes-Barre Connect is doing a lot for our community through the chamber, and what they're doing is very valuable for our community, and we're very, very grateful to be a part of that partnership. This afternoon's speakers are 2 very distinguished public servants, and they are Major Paige Cagnetti, the mayor of the City of Scranton, and Mayor George Brown, the mayor of the City of Wilkes-Barre. In a moment, I'll turn the program back over to Joe, who will formally announce the 2 mayors. But I just want to add a few remarks to express my appreciation for all that these mayors are doing. The mayors and their staffs perform a tremendous service for their cities, for our communities, for our region, and for the state. It's public service. It's about community, and it's about bringing our communities together, whether it's in normal times or whether during times of crisis under which we're experiencing now. And I'd like to thank the 2 mayors and their staffs in their cities for all that they're doing for our region. I had the pleasure of meeting Mayor Brown not long ago in his office. We were meeting to talk about his vision for the city, and it was great to hear what he had in mind. I look forward to eventually meeting Mayor Cognetti. So at this time, I'd like to ask Joe Boylan, the Executive Director for Wilkes-Barre Connect, to formally introduce our speakers. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, and I hope you enjoy the program.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Appreciate it. Wish we could do this in person. We always have a good comedy act we've been working on, so we'll have to work on our virtual campaign together. But I think you had some very important points. I think now more than ever, our community needs to come together. And what I love about our 2 guests today is they have been working together and pulling other mayors together before the COVID crisis. So I love the direction and the hope they're providing, that we can come together as a community, and very excited about today and talking about the community strong side of what not only the mayors are doing, but what we're doing as an organization and partnering with some amazing groups as well in Northeastern Pennsylvania. With that, I'd like to introduce our first speaker today, Paige Cagnetti, the mayor of the City of Scranton. Prior to becoming the first female mayor of Scranton, Paige served as a special assistant to the Pennsylvania Auditor General and was director of the Scranton School Board. Paige holds an MBA from the Harvard Business School and her undergrad from the University of Oregon Clark Honors College with a BA in English Literature and Romance Languages. Paige is originally from Beaverton, Oregon, but made Northeastern Pennsylvania her permanent home after having an amazing sandwich at Caravia, where she met her husband, Ryan. More importantly, Paige and Ryan welcomed their first child, Sloan, into the world in December 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our friend, Paige Cagnetti, the mayor of the City of Scranton.
Thank you, Joe. I am so thrilled to be here with you guys today. I wish we were down at the Think Center. It's way more fun to be in that beautiful, beautiful space. I first met Joe in that space through networking. So I know Wilkes-Barre Connect is so many things, but one thing about it is networking. That's how Joe and I met. So I can't think of a better platform from which to launch into this group and these conversations. It's an honor to be part of this series. Joe and I met actually through, I was on the alumni website for my business school, and there's a man named Kevin O'Boyle that lives in Wilkes-Barre. He was an alum from a few years before me. We started connecting. He connected me to Joe. Joe connected me to a host of other people. And here we are today. Now I'm sitting in the mayor's office here in Scranton. So you never know who you're going to meet along the way. You never know those connections that you make, what they're going to do for you and your community moving forward. So I'm thrilled to be here. And Mayor Brown, hello. It's nice to see you on there too. So we've been through a lot, Mayor Brown and I, in our first months in office. It's been very challenging, to say the least, but it's been an opportunity to grow. It's been an opportunity to learn what it means to be mayor, what it means to manage a city, what it means to.
So Paige,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
Please.
You're cutting in and out. So what I think we're going to do is, if you want to maybe exit and come back in,
Right.
We'll
Yep.
try that. And actually, if it's okay, Mayor Brown, if you're ready to go, to pinch hit, and we'll shift you up
Sorry.
front. Oh my God, it's no problem. This is the fun of doing a virtual event. So, all right. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go right into introducing Mayor Brown. So first up now, George Brown, who's the mayor of the City of Wilkes-Barre. George is a lifelong resident of the City of Wilkes-Barre. He attended King's College and Misericordia University and worked for nearly 4 decades in operation management and human resource management. As a civic activist, George is focused on a community-based approach to problems. He has volunteered much of his time to grow and build Wilkes-Barre and the whole Wyoming Valley. He's been an absolutely great partner to the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber. He's also the founder of the South Wilkes-Barre Residents Association, which is dedicated to improving the city by engaging in community events and bettering the neighborhood. And George has also dedicated his time to improving education, serving on the board of Luzerne County Community College, working to improve literacy and creating opportunities for special needs students. As a personal tie-in, Mayor Brown apparently is also very good at helping people move in, as he helped my parents move into their very first apartment 40 plus years ago. So thank you for that, obviously. And but more importantly, George and his wife, Marianne, have 3 children that they raised right in the City of Wilkes-Barre, and are proud grandparents of 3 grandchildren. So with that, I would, ladies and gentlemen, like to welcome now to the virtual stage, Mayor George Brown from the City of Wilkes-Barre. Mayor?
Joe, and that was a very nice introduction, but it's kind of difficult to follow someone of the stature of Mayor Cognetti. Okay, I wish I had her verbal and communication skills. She does a wonderful job, and Mayor Paige and I have become good friends in such a short 5-month period of time that we've known each other. So I am very happy to be here with you folks and also share the time with Mayor Cognetti. My staff and I have tried to work with Mayor Cognetti and some of the other mayors within the area so that we can work together on a lot of commonality issues that we have. And I'm happy to say that it's been working fine. And Mayor Cognetti, Mayor Lombardo, Mayor Coughlin, Mayor Cousette, we've all sat down and we've decided to share our resources and share the effects of what we're going through now. I'll give an example. I might be able to share some of the things we're doing with our pension funds. And most cities are underfunded, and I'm happy to do that. Mayor Cognetti is sharing what she's doing. As a matter of fact, recently she helped us with her bomb squad on this weekend that we had a situation that we had to call on the mayor's help, and she was very happy to send them down to help us out. Thank God it was just a false alarm. But the fact is, there are resources that are shared that we are offering each other. And I keep using this term, so bear with me. You're probably tired of hearing it, but we've torn down that wall that existed between Wilkes-Barre and Scranton. There's no wall. There's just a common goal to help each other out. And I'm sure that Mayor Cognetti feels the same way. We've gone through some really difficult situations in the first 4 or 5 months of my mayorship. And if you don't mind, I just want to expand on them, and then I'll tell you why they're important. First thing we had was we had to put together a budget. Prior administration filed for distressed city status, and we were not going to allow that to happen. So when I came in, our staff got together, and many long days of 12 hours, we got together and we put together a budget for the citizens of Wilkes-Barre where there was no tax increase, no increase in fee and services. So that was the first month. So that was difficult, but very proud of the work that my staff did, and we put that together. Then we were hit with this coronavirus situation, and as everybody else is experiencing, it's hurting our city, it's hurting our businesses. We have a shortfall of probably $4 or $5 million in the budget we put together because of loss of mercantile taxes and permit fees. We have 3 large projects that are going on in the city that are stopped now. And when we put our budget together, we made sure that we counted on the permit fees for those 3 large projects. And I'm talking tens of millions of dollars in each project. They're on hold right now. So we're not getting the permit fees. We're not getting the mercantile fees. So we're going through that, but it's the same thing that Mayor Paige is going through in other cities. To make it worse, the roof blows off City Hall, April 13th. And you have to understand something, folks. This is a beautiful building. It's 130 years old. My office was, I just loved it. It was beautiful. It was all plaster and handmade millwork. It was just gorgeous, as was the rest of the building. So the roof blows off. All right, that's April 13th. I'm thinking, what is going to hit me next, right? So it wound up that the roof was about a $500,000 project. We have extensive damage on the 4th floor that we found. So I'm thinking to my staff, like, what's going to hit us next? Well, guess what? The flooring is asbestos. So now we're in the process of removing the asbestos flooring on the 4th floor. And we had to repair quite a bit of the area on the 4th floor where my office is located. So that was the 4th thing that hit us within a 5-month period. But the thing is, I'm very lucky to have a wonderful staff that we've all just pulled together. What we did was we put together a COVID task force, and we meet every single day at 9 a.m. in my office. And by the way, I should say, Joe, your office, because we're displaced. We're still out of City Hall. So half of my senior staff are at the police station. The other half have invaded Joe's office in the Innovation Center. And I'm sitting in the middle office, and Butch Fratty, my director of operations, has the Penn State room, which I'm not happy about. And then Charlie, my city administrator, has a smaller office. But Joe, yeah, we are invading your space, but I'm hoping that another week or two we'll be out of here for you, okay? But I thank you for that. But anyway, we've displaced our senior staff. We did have to furlough some people because I just don't have a place for them to work right now. And a lot of the services that we provide are not being able to be done. But the COVID task force, every day we get together and we talk about what's happened the prior day, how bad is the cases, what are we getting, and also is there anyone else that we can help? I'll give you an example. We were very lucky. Before the COVID virus, we had a stockpile of N95 masks. And we started reaching out to the area hospitals, Geisinger, South Wilkes-Barre, Geisinger in Bear Creek, and also Wilkes-Barre General. And they all had the same situation. So we gave out over 1,500 masks to the 3 area hospitals. And I felt really good about that because we were able to help them. And it's just one of these things where it's community. The city of Wilkes-Barre is a community, and we're here to help everybody. I don't care if it's a hospital, if it's a school, if it's a merchant, whatever. We're here to help. So lo and behold, and Joe, I don't know how much time I have because I'm a talker, all right? You know that. So just go like this. Go, Mayor, you got 2 minutes. Anyway, I was lucky enough to have a great staff, and we found that there was an old fund that was not being used. And in that account, we had about $375,000. So it's $375,000. And we looked at what can we do with this money. It's an old enterprise grant that we had, enterprise zone grant. Community economic development. And we said, can we use this throughout the city to help business owners? And they said, yeah, Mayor, you can do that. So we created a restaurant loan program. And it was a program where we did not charge interest. We did not ask for any payments for the first year. And people could borrow up to $7,500. We just concluded that program last week, and we awarded about $243,000 in loans to restaurants to help them restock their shelves, bring their employees back, pay their mortgages or their rent. I'm very, very happy with that. So we still had some money left over. So this past Monday, we opened up the Small Business Emergency Loan Program. And already we have about 20 small businesses that have been shut down because of the coronavirus pandemic. And we're going to help them open up with low interest loans also. So I'm very happy to say we're going to expend the entire $375,000 in loans to our community restaurants and small businesses. So that's something else that we're working on, and I'm very happy about that. And just the partnership that I like to form with the chamber and, you know, the Wilkes-Barre Connect. I'm so happy to be part of this, and DiscoverNEPA and Penn State and everyone else. We're here to help as a city. If you need our help, we're here for you. But you're going to see us. We're going to bring this city back to greatness. And we have a common goal, my staff and I, that we're going to make the changes that are positive changes for the city, bring it back, clean it up. You may see if you go down to Public Square, and Joe, I don't know if you've seen it or your staff, but we actually have a new banner system up on Public Square. It says Wilkes-Barre, and it's blue and white, and it hits you, and you walk on the square, man, it whacks you right in the eyes. It's like, this is Wilkes-Barre. And actually some of the news media have actually used that for different segments. It's powerful, it's nice, it's clean, and we're cleaning up the city. We are partnering with the Diamond City Partnership, and we're working on cleaning up the streets, the sidewalks. I want people to see how vibrant this city is, and I want to bring entrepreneurs in. And as I've spoken at different ribbon cuttings and ceremonies, I want to make, you know, Wilkes-Barre the entrepreneur capital of Pennsylvania. I want to make Wilkes-Barre the area that people come and want to start their businesses, and work with the chamber and other entities to say, look, this is where we want to create our businesses. We want to bring our people here to work. So we're open to that. We do have several announcements that are happening recently. Geisinger, I'm happy to say, is opening up a new 65 forward, which is going to be in the old Katana restaurant. It's going to be a major addition to the downtown. Geisinger is also building a brand new facility on South Main Street, down where the old Planters Peanuts building was. And that's going to be a wonderful brand new building. So we do have things coming up. We have the Sterling Hotel project that is moving along. We have the Spear International project, which is going to be another beautiful hotel, which will be starting up very, very soon. And also we're looking at renovating the train station, the old train station. So there's a lot of great things coming up, and I'm really optimistic that we're going to do some great things. But understand, my message is it's a partnership, okay? It's not the George Brown, it's the Brown administration, and working with other entities within the city so that we can all say, hey, we had something to do with bringing back the city of Wilkes-Barre. Joe, am I okay? I still have time. I have a couple of jokes. I mean, if you have some more time, I can go into my routine. I have some jokes for you. And
well, I feel like the
impersonations. I do Wico, by the way. I can or Larry. I can do Larry.
Well, what we could do is, I know Wico's on. We'll make sure he stays muted so he can't even answer you. But Mayor, I think you summed up, you know, this event today perfectly in that last line. It was almost like it was scripted. It's about partnerships. It's about coming together. That's how we're going to get through this. And I think you and transitioning again to Mayor Cognetti, I think you both showed those early signs even before COVID of coming together. And I think it's something that's truly important and even more critical now. So thank you for the kind words. You are free to use that Think Center as long as you want. I assumed that Butch would be set up in the Penn State room. I felt like no one else was going to be allowed in there. So we're excited that knowing that our staff, again, working remotely, that we can't be there, that, you know, your team is in there and utilizing it. And all we ask is that you just replenish all the Susquehanna Brewing Company beer that's in the cooler when you're done. So.
Oh, no. Hey, Joe, before I leave, just tell your mom, Kevin, and your mom and dad, Kevin and Janet, that my arm still hurts from that time I banged it into the wall of the apartment, okay, like 45 years ago, okay?
Well, I don't know why they didn't call you to help them move down to Sarasota. That's the call you should have gotten. So, Mayor, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today and everything that you're doing, especially in the loan programs, which I know are super critical right now, a lot to our members in Wilkes-Barre, that you're able to provide that. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And with that, you know, we're gonna try again here. We're gonna bring back Mayor Paige Cagnetti from the City of Scranton. We've got fingers crossed that we've got our audio and video up and ready to go. Paige, if not, I don't know what we're gonna do. But with that, I'm gonna turn it right back over to you. I'm gonna unmute you and we'll cross our fingers.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry about that. That was, I think, the Wi-Fi in City Hall. Got some thick walls in this beautiful old building, so I think sometimes that doesn't go as well as I'd like it to. Let me plug my phone in so I don't cut out. Don't cut out on us. All right. Sorry for the movement. I know that's very annoying on Zoom, but okay, I think we're ready. Did you guys hear nothing from before? Do I need to start over? Okay. So thank you so very, very much, Joe. And Lindsay, I see you on there. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be part of this series. It's an honor to be on here with Mayor Brown, with whom I've begun to establish a really tremendous relationship. I first met Joe Boylan and was introduced to Wilkes-Barre Connect and just everything that's going on down in Wilkes-Barre. A handful of years ago, it was through connecting and networking. I was new to the area and looking up people in my alumni network from my business school and met this man, Kevin O'Boyle, who had graduated a few years ahead of me. He introduced me to Joe. Joe introduced me to a litany of people, and I've made so many different friends and met so many wonderful people that are working in Luzerne County, Lackawanna County, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, all throughout the region and even throughout the state, who are trying to move our cities forward, move our regions forward, and get economic growth really continuing to pump into our region. I look at all this broad growth from the lens of not being from here. I'm from Oregon originally, and the growth trajectory of my hometown has been nothing but up since I was born and living in Beaverton, Oregon. Beaverton, Oregon, where I'm from, is the home of Nike. And if anybody watched The Last Dance, that series on ESPN, you saw, I forget which episode it was, 4 or 5. I was too little at the time. I did not realize that Nike was really taking a chance on Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan was the first star that they really got, and it catapulted them. When I think about it, Michael Jordan was certainly their first big star, but I didn't realize that was, something that they were really kind of betting the farm on. So I'm from a place that the growth comes, there's people complain about too many new homes and too much building and too much increased business traffic. To then move to Scranton, Pennsylvania, and have it be a different story, a story of things closing and people not having jobs and not having work, has been interesting. But I think the reason I'm sitting here in City Hall in Scranton is because I have this optimism. I've seen things work. I've seen the growth, and I believe that we can really keep that growth happening. In order to do that, we have to do it together, and county lines don't matter and city lines don't matter. We have to do it as a region. We have to cooperate. We have to help each other. So Joe and I, Lindsay and I had talked about this over the years, that we have the same philosophy. And then when I became mayor up here and Mayor Brown became mayor of Wilkes-Barre, it was a natural friendship to begin, along with Mayor Lombardo, Mayor Cassatt, and others. So I'm thrilled that we have this partnership and we have this ability to grow together. To me, there's no zero-sum game about this. If Mayor Brown has a success in Wilkes-Barre, that's a success for me in Scranton, because, well, first, because I just want him to be successful and I want all of you in Wilkes-Barre to be successful, but also because if Mayor Brown pulls in a company to Wilkes-Barre, well, maybe a couple moves there and one partner has, is at the helm of that new company. Well, that other person's spouse probably wants to come up here and work in Scranton at one of our great universities, or maybe they're a doctor and they'll be up at Moses Taylor, or maybe they'll want a job in the Scranton School District. And there's so much, and it's not zero sum. This is all one huge network and huge ecosystem. And this COVID crisis has put us in a position where it's tragic and it's been horribly challenging and difficult. And I think the most difficult stuff is actually ahead of us, which I'll get to. But in a time when people that live in New York City or Philadelphia or New Jersey are thinking, gosh, maybe I don't want to live in this densely populated place, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Hazleton, Pittston, we're here, we're ready. I mean, we are ready to have families move here, spread out a little bit, go to our great schools. We have remote work. So even if a couple, one of them can work remote and one of them needs to get a job somewhere in our region, we have that ready. We just need to match that up. We need to be able to show that we're open for business. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you on this call to reach our goals and to do it together. And in the meantime, we do still have this crisis to face. And I say the hardest work is ahead of us, because to the things that Mayor Brown spoke about, the work that we've been both doing in the last 2.5 months, it's been getting PPE to the hospitals, getting PPE to the nursing homes, making sure our first responders have the PPE, making sure that our first responders their shifts aren't overlapping needlessly so that they're not cross-contaminating, making sure that our sanitation workers are able to be in the same truck with the same other guys so that we're not unnecessarily exposing each other to the virus. There's been so much. I mean, closing access to our city halls. My goodness, if you told me January 6th when I took office that I'd have 2 months and a week in City Hall before I was working from my daughter's nursery, I just would have thought you had 3 heads, right? So there have been really immediate challenges, but the basis for those challenges and those responses has been completely clear. We had to flatten the curve, full stop. Now we're entering into this next phase of living with the virus. And that's a very different set of decisions. It's not as black and white. It's not shut it down except for essential services. We have to figure out what we can do to live with this virus. And I believe it's a larger challenge for the medical teams. I think it's a larger challenge for us as mayors. It's a larger challenge for our first responders. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and especially on the economic piece. We have so many citizens that are laid off, so many who maybe still have jobs, but those hours have been cut back. So many business owners who are not sure that they will be able to reopen, or maybe have already had to make a decision that they can't reopen. And our job at the city is to try to get out as much relief as we possibly can. Mayor Brown's been able to use funds to get loans and to grants programs. It sounds like loans are soon to follow. We're working on a loan and grant program here in Scranton that we're hoping to add to the mix. The federal response has been good. The PPP program has been excellent for some businesses, but not all. So we're trying to figure out how we can bridge those gaps and fill those gaps for businesses so that they can stay alive. So there's a lot of really, really hard work ahead of us. We're trying very hard here in Scranton to understand what those challenges are, make this a community conversation, be talking with people every single day from all across the city, all across the region. We have a county city task force where we're working with our legislators and our county commissioners and me here in the city. Lackawanna, as you guys probably know, is a little bit of a different setup as Luzerne. We have the one larger city here, Scranton. Carbondale is the only other municipality
it's a little different than having kind of the dual larger cities of Hazleton and Wilkes-Barre. So we have this task force, we're working really hard on that. And we're just continuing to try to talk to people. I do town halls twice a week where we're on Facebook Live and I take questions and we try to answer people's questions and for me, it's helpful because I take the pulse of the community and try to understand what the issues are. I don't live in every single neighborhood. I don't have every single job that's out there. I can't know what every single industry is like. So we have to have that community conversation. A goal of mine when I took office was to change the way that City Hall interacts with the citizens of Scranton. I think that we've been able to do that. I really do. I feel that in a way that's never been done before, that we are engaging with the community, even though we're apart. So it's been a tremendous experience for me. It's been a true honor. I do think that even tougher stuff is ahead of us, but I know that my team and I stand ready for the challenge, and I couldn't do it without Mayor Brown and our other friends out there. So I'm grateful that COVID came in March, not February, so we were able to start having those conversations with the mayors. And I'm so thrilled to be here with you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mayor. Really appreciate you taking time. And there we go. Appreciate you taking time in speaking with us today and getting through some technical difficulties, which is the fun part of this working remotely. And again, I think it's refreshing to have both the mayor of Scranton and the mayor of Wilkes-Barre together. And I think it's not just having you talk, it's about how you're talking about each other and you're working together. And I think there's no greater time of need right now to have that partnership and to really work together and to hear, the mayor of Scranton talk about, the excitement of a business coming to Wilkes-Barre. And I know Mayor Brown would be the same way of a business coming to Scranton. And I think that's just something that we have to continue to think that way. I think from our standpoint of the chamber, and it's a perfect segue to bringing up Lindsay Griffin, our COO and Vice President of the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber, to talk about how, that is part of our vision and how we know that the critical nature of coming together as a community to really strengthen and build upon who we want to be. And now with COVID, the opportunity to create the new norm. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay Griffin, our COO, Vice President of the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber, who's going to introduce our spotlights for today's program. Lindsay?
Yes, thank you, Joe. And I just want to thank Mayor Brown and Mayor Cognetti for taking the time with us today and, for your excellent leadership during this time and all that you have done and will continue to do. And again, just seeing how that partnership, the working together, the unitedness of the region that we really see that's really been apparent through all of this really segues into some of the things we want to talk about now. But again, thank you so much for your leadership and for being here with us today. We very much appreciate that. We have been very focused as a chamber and our Wilkes-Barre Connect as well on being able to provide any resources we can during this time, anything that we know that our community needs to know about, our businesses need to know about, to keep you all connected and informed. And through that, we've developed some really cool initiatives, and we wanted to really bring them to the forefront today. We encourage anyone to get involved with us. This is an inclusive effort. Whether you're a chamber member, not a chamber member, we invite anyone to join with us on any of the things we're going to touch on today. So please connect with us on our Facebook, also on our website. And just, again, as we all work through this as a united community, we really encourage you to, again, reach out and stay involved with us as we move through this. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to two of our chamber team members who came up with an amazing idea, which is called Wednesday Wisdom. This is a series that is done every other Wednesday, and it's engaging local businesses in conversations that are relevant to what is going on right now. So we've covered everything from insurance to marketing, social media, and again, bringing everyone together virtually, of course, in any way that we can. So to talk to you today about our Wednesday Wisdom initiative is Ahmad Ali and Michaela Benzakowski from the Chamber.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ahmad, the Program and Membership Manager of the Greater Wilkes-Barre Chamber of Commerce. Much like everyone in our community, we had to adapt and find innovative ways to deliver programming and events for our members and the community as a whole. As our community shifts to working from home and begin consuming most of their content online, we came up with the Wednesday Wisdom series. The Wednesday Wisdom Series is a bi-weekly public webinar held on timely topics and business resources relevant to community COVID-19 response. Attendees joined by Zoom for an informational session with business and subject matter experts with the opportunity for Q&A, question and answers to support businesses with their sustainability and connectivity to the community. Each session is live streamed on Facebook and posted on our YouTube page in a timely manner. This allows anyone out there in the public to easily access that content at any time of the day. So I'll turn it over to Michaela.
Yes, I'm Michaela. I'm also the Programs and Membership Coordinator of the Wilkes-Barre Chamber of Commerce. Our first Wednesday Wisdom, Protecting Your Technology During the Unexpected, was presented by Tech 42. It covered the importance of network security and virtual employee collaboration as the workforce transitioned into working from home. Our second Wednesday Wisdom was an informational town hall featuring a panel of industry leaders in banking, accounting, business insurance, and employment law, answering frequently asked questions from local business owners. Bricks and Mortar to Clicks and Order was the next Wednesday Wisdom, focused on educating local businesses on transitioning to e-commerce and updating their websites. Our most recent Wednesday Wisdom was a small business roundtable, where small business owners from all of NEPA joined to share innovative strategies and practices that they have implemented during this unprecedented time, with the goal of inspiring other local businesses to implement new ideas to help their businesses thrive. And I will turn it back over to Ahmad.
Thank you. Each session so far has had an average of 30 attendees, and on the live stream, we've had up to 20 live stream viewing at once. At the end, we have about over 800 plus impressions on the Chamber's social media platforms. So it's reaching a broad audience out there. We also partner with local chambers, allowing these resources to reach everyone throughout Northeast PA. And we're always looking to share relevant information with the community. So if you have any ideas, please send them to us and we can develop a topic around it. You can join us for our next Wednesday Wisdom on May 27th, which will be with One Source HR Solutions, covering policy updates needed as we begin to reopening the county and Northeast PA as a whole, and post COVID-19. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ahmad and Michaela. And again, we encourage you all to join us for those. Reach out to us with suggestions, what you want to know about right now, and we'd be glad to, again, put this programming out there to our community. So thank you guys for filling us in on Wednesday Wisdom. Our second initiative that we wanted to talk about today is one that I think, we just heard from two amazing mayors who are really uniting this area. And this was one of the collaborative pieces that very proud to talk about today. And hopefully a lot of you have engaged and seen this initiative. Our amazing partners at DiscoverNEPA and Mary Colasar, the executive director who's going to speak with us today, as well as Megan Flanagan, communications manager from the Wilkes-Barre Chamber, are going to talk a little bit about this. But on the onset of really when this happened, and we knew that we were going to have to pull together, we established the site along with DiscoverNEPA, and now we have 20 partners, 8 chambers of commerces, 8 economic development organizations, and 4 of our visitors bureaus from all over NEPA have come together to create one collaborative site. We know information overload is really something that we've all struggled with since the onset of COVID, and where do I go to find what I need, and how can I find it easily? And that was the purpose of this amazing site that's been created. And one of the most exciting things I think from this is going to be a continued initiative that will live beyond this, and again, show that united region that we have, and really bring us all together. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mary and Megan to talk about our DiscoverNEPA partnership.
Great. Thank you, Lindsay, for the introduction and for inviting DiscoverNEPA to take part in this and be here today, present as part of this lunch hour talk. So DiscoverNEPA, as a regional 10-county regional marketing initiative, really got turned on its head with as all businesses have as a result of this pandemic. And we had to come together and find a way that we can continue promoting Northeastern Pennsylvania in its most positive light. And what was really a blessing in disguise when Lindsay and Megan reached out and said, hey, we've got this idea about how we can all work together and really show a united front and help the region get through this time and recover from the time. So with a special thanks to both Lindsay and Megan for being the cheerleaders and really the information gatherers, came to DiscoverNEPA, provided us with contact information. And as Lindsay mentioned, we're working with the regional chambers, with the regional county-wide visitors bureaus, with our local nonprofit community, with our downtown Main Street organizations, as well as economic development groups throughout northeastern Pennsylvania, to put together a comprehensive resource that not only businesses can refer to, but also residents. We've tried to make this as user-friendly as possible. There is so much information to share between local and state announcements coming out of at the national level, things from the CDC, and now as Pennsylvania moves from through the various red, yellow, green phases, it's really information overload. So we are trying to stay on top of that, keep information as current and relevant as possible, and put it on a single resource page that everyone can navigate through and find what they're looking for. And I hope we've been successful. We've had a lot of traffic to the site. It continues to build. And so we know people are using it, and we would love some feedback. You can reach either DiscoverNEPA directly or through the chambers. Let us know what we're missing, because we want to continue to keep this as relevant. I think we're in this for the long haul, and old information can come off, and new information that would be helpful to the business community and our residents, we can certainly add to help us transition through these next few phases. It's not all just dry kind of public announcements, but we're also included on the site there's a section entitled individual resources, and that would be probably most helpful for our residents of northeastern Pennsylvania. We're keeping up-to-date information on restaurants and who's offering takeout and who's offering curbside service. We look forward to expanding that as places start to reopen. We have information about local retail establishments that have not only online services, but might be offering delivery or curbside pickup. Gyms that are offering virtual classes or discounted rates for members to join. We're working with the local YMCAs, the regional YMCAs. They've brought a lot of their programs online as their doors have been closed. So you'll find links to that type of information. Places like Junior Achievement that are closed to field trips right now, things that families can use to keep their children busy and entertained during this time. So we're trying our best to put the information together, and we're happy to do so. And more than anything, we're grateful for the opportunity to come together as both Mayor Cognetti and Mayor Brown have said, as a region, and do our small part in bringing the region together. And we look forward to this next phase. Lindsay already alluded to this page. We hope to strip of all the current content, but as we move forward out of the red zone and yellow zone and green zone and back to normal operations, to continuing this partnership as a collective region to put northeastern Pennsylvania back on the map and continue to grow and expand economically, business development wise, et cetera.
Thank you so much, Mary. And I'd also like to say, as Mary mentioned, we really want this site to be a one-stop shop for everyone in the community. So thank you so much to DiscoverNEPA for making that a possibility through this platform. We're so grateful for that. And so are all of our partners as well. Mary mentioned a little bit about the individual resources. We know there are tons of probably small business owners on this call, members of the business community. So we also wanted to just highlight some of the business resources that we have available as well. So on the business resource page, you'll find a lot of financing information for what programs are out there and how to navigate them, just different guides and resources surrounding that. We also have some technology resources for teams that have gone fully remote during this time, as well as industry-specific resources as well. And then within the last week, we've also added a new section because quite a few of the counties within the NEPA footprint have transitioned over to the yellow phase or are planning to do so in the near future. So we really wanted to build out a section where you can go to stay up to date on the different regulations on the local, state, and federal level on what you need to do to really reopen your business in a successful way, as well as just some best practices that have been gathered across industries through our different partners that we really wanted to feature on that section there as well. So we encourage all of you to visit that and really go through a checklist of the resources that you need to reopen. There's also a form listed on there that businesses who are planning to open their doors need to have downloaded, signed, filled out, and posted. So we definitely encourage you to download that sheet and make sure that you have those practices in place for your future planning. In addition to that, one of the great things, that's honestly one of my favorite things on the website, is under our community resources page. We really wanted to make a section for the community to engage with, to highlight all of the wonderful things that people are doing during this time. There are a lot of organizations, businesses, individuals who are really spearheading initiatives to help our community. And on that side, you can kind of scroll down and see the different features that we have of the individuals who are doing those things, as well as we have a form linked on the bottom that you can go in and submit anything that your business is doing, anything you see in the community, and that page gets shared with all of our partners. So our partners can take that information and use it to highlight businesses in our email blasts, our communications, and our social media channels. So we would absolutely love to get more interaction there and for everyone to submit all of the wonderful things that you're doing, because we see every day our community coming together and staying strong during this time. And I just want to remind, if anyone would like to visit the site, you can find it at discovernepa.com/coronavirus, or if you go to the Discover NEPA landing page, Mary was kind enough to link this page off of the main header there as well. So thank you so much. We would love to get everyone involved in this page.
Thank you so much, Megan and Mary. Again, we can't thank you and the DiscoverNEPA team enough for helping us to make this collaborative piece. And I know we drove you crazy for a little while initially, and it was a lot to get together, and just absolutely amazing what it's turned into, and we can't wait to see what it continues to be. So thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate that. And like Megan said, this is really a piece that was made for all of you. It's made for this community. It's a place to come together. You know, while obviously we have our business resources on there, it is for individuals, and we want the community to find whatever they need. It's the quality of life piece that our chamber has always been extremely invested in. So we wanted to make something that was not only business accessible, but something that was also accessible for anyone that is a part of where we live. So again, please interact with us on there. There's the Community Strong section, like I said, which is one of our favorites, because we've seen through this, and there's so many hard things that, you know, obviously we're all dealing with through this, and hard things to see. And there's so many good things that we're able to see through things like this as well, where we have an amazing community here that really has come together. So look forward to hopefully having all of you interact with that site. And our last spotlight today is brought to us by Wilkes-Barre Connect, led by Joe Boylan and Shawnee Muhammad, who Shawnee is going to talk to us a lot about Connect Further right now. Connect Further is a video series featuring national thought leaders, industry experts, and change agents discussing the post-COVID-19 economic and social landscape. So Shawnee, I'd like to introduce you now. Shawnee's our newest team member at the Chamber, along with Michaela, who have both been doing an amazing job with us. And so Shawnee, talk to us a little bit about Connect Further and tell everyone what they can expect.
Yes, hi, thank you for that. Hello, everyone. My name is Shawnee, as Lindsay had said, and I'm the Economic Development Specialist at Wilkes-Barre Connect. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about our new video series called Connect Further. Lindsay described it a little bit, talking about how we feature national thought leaders discussing what their field would be like post-pandemic. And we hope that by having these discussions, we're able to shape our recovery efforts, define our new norm, and really establish the importance of coming together as a community and solving our most pressing social and economic issues, which is really what, you know, today's theme is all about. So we release a new installment of this series every other Wednesday at noon, leading all the way up to our Wilkes-Barre Connect conference in November. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute as well. Our first episode of Connect Further was actually released last week, and that was featuring Kim Kaup. Kim is the co-founder and CEO of the Superfan Company. We had an incredible conversation with her, and we really got to understand her perspective of entrepreneurship, education, and ultimately where she sees her industry going in the future, which was incredible insight to have. And something we really wanted her participation in was our Wilkes-Barre Connect conference. At this year's conference, we want students, nonprofit leaders, industry leaders, young professionals, all these individuals, we want them to come together and be a part of the conversation about the issues that we face as a society. So at the conference, we plan to split attendees into workshop groups and have them brainstorm and collaborate to find solutions for proposed challenges. So with that community-centric model in mind, we asked Kim to issue us a challenge so that we can address it in our conference. And she stepped right up to the plate. She challenged us to find a way to institutionalize mentorship programs across businesses, academic institutions, nonprofits, organizations. And when you think about it, it's something that we can all see the benefit for, especially coming out of a time like this. Something like that can provide tremendous value. So that was just the first of many challenges that will be issued through Connect Further. All of our upcoming guests will be offered that same opportunity to give us a challenge. And we're really confident that our community can, come together and put our minds together and tackle them, come up with some pretty great solutions. So speaking of upcoming guests, we will be featuring Kat Lindroth, the co-founder of Social Contract, on our next episode of Connect Further. And that will be released May 27th at noon. You can register for the premiere viewing of that episode through the Wilkes-Barre Chamber's website. And if you're unable to view the episode then, a recording of the episode will also be posted on the Wilkes-Barre Connect Facebook page the next day. We encourage you all to visit wbconnectconference.com so that you can view all of our Connect Further interviews, find more information about the conference, and learn how you can get more involved in something like this moving forward. So we really hope that we'll be able to collaborate with you all. We're super excited about it, and we hope to work with you all soon. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shawnee. Definitely the first series that came out with Kim was awesome. So really looking forward to see how these continue. So and with that, Joe, I'm going to turn it back over to you and you can close us out.
Thank you, Lindsay. And again, thank you, Shawnee. Thank you, Mary and Megan, and also Ahmad and Michaela for the presentations. 3 amazing initiatives going on, again, highlighting the importance of coming together and how, this information will be tremendously useful to help us in building our recovery plans and really strengthening the bond between the mayors in both the cities and really moving forward as a region. So I encourage you to check them out, go online, as our guest mentioned, panelists mentioned, that all this information can be found at wilkesbarre.org. Go to the calendar page and find the upcoming events and register. All these events we have are absolutely free. And if you haven't gone on to the DiscoverNEPA site, I encourage you to do so. The page is absolutely amazing. The work that Lindsay and Megan and Mary and everybody together just pulled for that resource. It's absolutely incredible and so needed at this time, and excited that they talk about that this is going to live on. So kudos to you guys and thank you so much. And with that, I just want to once again thank Dr. Dale Jones, Chancellor of Penn State Wilkes-Barre, for sponsoring this and all of our Spotlight events. We cannot do this without you. You and your partnership with Invent Penn State out of State College, we thank you. Most importantly, thank you to Mayor Paige Cagnetti and Mayor George Brown. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing, the leadership that you're demonstrating, and more importantly, taking time to come out and talk with us. I think it, from our viewpoint, strengthens that their critical nature of coming together. And I think you exemplified that, and thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And with that, I'd like to wish everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, and we look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care. Thank you.